And as the title of the podcast says, Luchanko is on a jet back to Guelph. Jett Luchanko on Monday morning. The Flyers made the decision to send him back to the OHL. And I think I'm a little bit more heated about it than I thought I would be. Joe, what is your first take?
Would you say he's been jettisoned from the team?
Yeah, he has been jettisoned. Yes,
Yeah, yeah. Why didn't they do this sooner? I don't know, man. Like, I get it. He wasn't exactly earning a top 9 role. And there were so far have been no injuries to the forward group that like he could step in and replace one of the centers. Like, funny enough, the Flyers are actually pretty deep at center right now because they've got Coots, first of all, Noah Cates, and then they've got this hybrid thing with Dvorak and Zegras, and either one of them could. Dvorak theoretically could just move to 4C, Zegras to quote unquote 3C, but you know, and then they've got Obels in the wing. Like, there's surprisingly pretty good depth on the Flyers center right now, or it's center right now, and I don't know. It is what it is. I wish they'd done it sooner, but better late than never.
Yeah, it's just like they had a month here of nothing. He got into 4 games, played like 8 minutes, 9 minutes per game on the fourth line. Maybe got one shift or a few shifts with like a skilled forward that's not Grebenkin or Hathaway. And Briere talked about it, told the media after practice on Monday. Very simple. We want him to play high minutes. We've liked what we've seen. He could have stayed here. He showed that he can play, but we want more than that for him in the long run. We felt at this point it was time for him to start playing high minutes. And then they went into, he also talked about the possibility of the AHL, because they've been complaining like, oh, if it was next year, he'd be in the AHL. Like, yeah, we looked into that, but it was another week of him sitting around, not allowed to play him. And after that, you're only allowed 2 weeks, and you've got to keep him on your NHL roster. That complicates things. So I understand what they're saying, and thinking about it, what I think they should have done is had him on the roster to start the season, scratch him the first 5 games, let him go to the AHL, play 2 weeks there, let him play top 6 minutes in the AHL against men. You don't care as much about your record in the AHL, so you can let him out there, let him make those mistakes, and if he has a good 2 weeks, keep him on the team. If the Flyers have an injury, if they had an injury, but or just send him back to Guelph after that 2 weeks, because it seems like the Flyers just wanted to have their hands on Jett Luchanko. They didn't want to let Jett Luchanko go out and play. They wanted to keep him in the backyard with their own home rink where they can watch him. They can have him working on things that they want, which I guess they're putting a lot of confidence in their in-house training and their culture and stuff. But it's got to be weird for him and for like the rest of the roster, knowing that he's on the team and around the team, but he's kind of like just like an intern, kind of like like you're not full-time part of the roster. I want to help you out, but I want to help out my own game. Like, it's weird, and I just worry that if Jett Luchanko doesn't become a top 6 center, which he probably won't, he'll probably be a good 3C, maybe an okay 2C. This is them opening up the possibility for criticism. It's like, oh, well, if Luchanko turns out to be another Scott Laughton type, like, what you ruined his potential by having him around an NHL team and not letting him play. Like, I just there were so many other paths to go about it, and they chose possibly the worst.
Well, it is important to remember he's not even 20 yet. He just turned 19, so he's pretty early in the development curve. And it's been talked about, he is kind of like the inverse of what you would expect from a juniors player. He has all the details right, but the offense isn't there. Usually it's the other way around. The juniors players are really good at the offense part, but don't know how to play the rest of the game. It's hard to project him then, because then you're like, well, maybe he can develop the offense, and then he is like he could be a top 6 center. But yeah, why dawdle? Why dawdle?
Yeah, I guess maybe they wanted to keep him around in case there was an injury, in case the Dvorak Zegras thing wasn't working, but it is working. Both of those guys had great games on Saturday. I'm sure that helped the decision to send Jett back down. But I mean, I guess the closest comparison the Flyers have is Sean Couturier. They kept him on the team in 2011 when he was 19. That was a competitive team. but his first 4 or 5 years in the league didn't crack 40 points. And then
Yep.
suddenly he turns 25. He wants that offensive opportunity, and he gets it and gets 31 goals, 76 points. I just wonder by the time Jett Luchanko is 24, 25, hopefully the Flyers don't have a spot where it's like, oh, Luchanko wants to be more offensive. Hopefully they have their 1C and their 2C, whether it's
Mhm.
Nesbitt, whether it's whoever it is, go out in free agency. And Luchanko is stuck in that 3C role where he can't go above it. And it's just like I said, like Scott Laughton. Scott Laughton was a first round pick. He was written off, went to the AHL. Ron Hextall didn't like him, carved out, a game as a bottom six player, and a great locker room guy. Love Scott Laughton coming back to Philadelphia, hopefully, if he's healthy enough this weekend. But like from a first round pick that you passed up Zeev Bouillon for, who's having a great season, you passed up on these other guys for. It's tough. It's really tough to. They're hitching their wagon to like, okay, we can really make sure this guy develops, but I don't know. I don't know. And I like Jett Luchanko. I think he's going to be a good middle six center. It's just what are you doing? Why are you toying around with him like this?
I don't know, man. I mean, he I, with Couturier, it was like all of the underlying statistics were there that he was going to score, and then he just started to, right? Like the data said this guy
Yeah,
should be
he
scoring more.
Sean Couturier was always good. Sean Couturier was
Yeah.
always the Flyers Twitter argument of, oh, if Couturier is so good, why does he only get 30 points a season? It's like, well, that's the opportunity that he has.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was a thing there.
So then I'm not rushing on Jett Luchanko until we have like a decent data set to point to and be like, this is what he can do. 8 career NHL games does not a data
No,
set make.
no.
So, you know, maybe he joins the team at the end of the year. He pops off with Guelph with Team Canada, and then Guelph loses early in the playoffs, and he gets a couple more games with the Flyers.
Hmm.
He's at 4, so they could have him for 5 more
5 more,
and
yeah,
not during the year. So,
yeah.
we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, and the Guelph Storm are not a great OHL team. They're not the London Knights. They're not these teams that, develop and churn out NHL talent left and right, but they're better this year. And I feel
Yeah.
like even if they were the worst team in the league, which they were close to last year, like send them down there anyway and send them down there earlier to let him play these big minutes. Like it's like Briere said, it's not helping him to sit, but I guess did it help him to be around the team in practice? Maybe like practice, get fourth line reps here and there. It's just a lot of unknowns and a lot of things that you can look at it and say like, oh, you should have done this in that Kraken game. You're up by 3.
Mm,
Give him a few shifts with between Tippett and Konechny. Put him up there for Couturier for a shift
see
or
what
two. Like,
happens.
yeah, they just gave him no opportunity whatsoever. Didn't give him one game, let alone a period, like with top level talent. And that's good because that means your top 9 is playing well, but it's bad for Luchanko and for what he's doing right now. I don't think this is going to ruin him in any
No,
sort of way, but it's another one of those things where we were excited about this, and once again, just nothing out of it.
it wasn't ideal for development. A lot of coaching decisions have not been ideal for development. It's funny that Torts seems like the more development friendly coach in retrospect. Um, no, it is what it is. Who can say if being around the team helped? Like that's one of those intangible things that
Yeah,
we don't know, we don't understand. So, um, yeah. Oh well.
that's what the whole rebuild's about. It's like, oh, it's our culture, it's our training, it's what we have in the room. Players want to play here now, but
Hmm.
who knows how much it helps a 19-year-old who knows. I'm sure they gave him some warning, but like at any day now could be my last day up here. Then I have
Yeah.
to go back to Guelph. They stripped the C off me in Guelph. I have to go back to this team where there's new players, there's veterans that probably wish they were in the NHL and couldn't be. Could be some resentment. Like it's just a whole weird thing around Luchanko. And
The
I,
yeah. The way you said it, like, oh, it was something we were excited for, and then it isn't that exciting.